the Claims Adjuster Workshop. Welcome. I wish I had my sound bar on for a little round of applause. All right. So thank you for joining us this lovely, wonderful Saturday afternoon. We're not going to take up too much of your time. If you notice, we're doing things a little bit differently. We're shortening the time. We are focusing on just one adjuster this time. So we're going to start doing this kind of like an adjuster spotlight opportunity. Okay. We know it's Saturday. In some places of the country, it's really, really warm, and y'all are trying to be out and about. And I get it, because I'm trying to be out in the streets as well. Tredena, you trying to be out in the streets?
Absolutely.
Okay, so anywho,
Let me stop lying. I got a lot of claims to do.
okay, right, right, that part. But yes, but after the work is done, we would like to
Yes.
play, okay? And speaking of working claims, our wonderful speaker for today is going to be, listen, let me tell you. And I am so glad and so grateful to have been connected to this woman. Let me just say that first and foremost. When you have a spirit of excellence about you, it permeates across everything that you do. And that is the case for Tredena Sanders. Okay. Tredena Sanders came to us and studied to get her licensing. Geez, what year was that? Do you remember?
Was that 2017?
Jeez, has it been that sounds about right.
Because I worked at Go Health for 5 years.
Yes, yes.
And then I quit them in 2022.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say about 7.5, 8 years. So I'm gonna say 2016.
Okay.
Mid
Wow.
2016.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
8 years. Listen, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Okay. So yes, Tredena came to us in 2016, got her adjuster's license, and I'm not gonna give it all away. She took a little bit of an unconventional route, then she wrapped it back
Mm-hmm.
around again, and listen, as well as started up her own business. Okay, and does it very well because I'm one of her customers. All right. So excuse me if I sound a little biased, but your girl been looking real good lately. Real good. It's all been Tredena Sanders, honey. And let me give a shout out to the company. We'll talk about it even more later, but Tredena Sand Fashion House. Okay, she is a stylist, my dear, fashionista, model, and she is all about plus size couture. Okay, so listen. So
Mm-hmm.
we got some information to go over with the adjuster information packet. We're going to go over some of that a little bit, but for everybody who is here, I'm not going to go over it in too much detail, only because we are shortened on time, and you'll get a copy of this in your email when this is all said and done. And for anybody who tunes into this video after the fact and you missed this wonderful live session that we're about to have, please just inbox us at info@tpas.llc and request a copy of the information packet, and we'll make sure we get that email to you. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, Tredena.
I'm
Listen,
excited.
we're gonna get into it. Oh, I am ready. I am so excited. Okay, so let's first talk about what you were doing before you became an adjuster and what led you. How did you find out about, okay, maybe this is something I might want to do that led you into that licensing class?
Um, because I'm brave. I'm always willing to try something different. I'm a habitual climber, which means I'll step on your head. I'll leave any job if you offer me $2 at that time. Back when extra $2 or $3 was a big deal. It's not much of a big deal now, but for some people it may be. But back then, for extra $2 or $3, I'm gonna leave that job and go to the other one. In this case, I was fired. I was
Mm.
let go unlawfully. And so I was, living off of link, unemployment, all the resources that I could. And a friend of mine, which I believe was Fumi K, told
Mm.
me about the mother daughter duo in St. Louis. And I was riding dirty. I'm talking plates expired, insurance expired. I went to St. Louis, 3 times to take courses with you all?
Sure did.
Dirty. And came back, and I didn't have the overhead to go directly into independent claim adjusting. Chicago's a little bit of a different monster because they don't require a license to work for, say, like Allstate as an adjuster. A lot of them were requiring like bachelor's degrees and things like that, and I don't have that. So in the shuffle of applying for those jobs, I ended up, how you do on LinkedIn and Career Builder, you put in insurance, you get just this influx of different careers that you could go into.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, that's what made me say, okay, I'm gonna go out here and chase this. My friend just told me about it. It sounded good. I'm like, I could be independent. I'm gonna pay for this licensing. I'm kind of blowing my savings to come out there and get licensed because, again, I wasn't working and I was living on very humble means of unemployment and link and stuff. But I've always been the type of person to just take a chance on myself, to bet on myself. I've
Mm-hmm.
always been that person. I've never been scared to just get up and change course of action if I felt like it was the best thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. I don't have anyone else that's solely dependent on me to where I can't go out and bump my head or make my mistakes or take the risks that I want to take with my life. And I take
Right.
full advantage of that situation to better myself. So,
Right. Yeah. Wow. I like
so that's,
how you started that. Brave. Period.
yeah, yeah. I'm always gamble and bet on myself. I always land on my feet. I always um come out in a better financial and emotional and spiritual situation than the previous, so though taking those risks have never failed me. I always come out more educated, more intelligent, wiser, with more knowledge, with more usable information,
Mm-hmm.
with more tools,
Mm-hmm.
to do life. I always come out just better. So I'm always going to take that risk and take that chance and bet on myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it took very little to convince me. I was like, yep, I'm going to do it. I don't know what the hell it is, never heard of it, but I'm going to do it. But
Mm.
being in those types of careers have always been the most lucrative for me. Career paths, jobs, industries that I never heard of. I get into it by word of mouth, and it's always just, I'm always in a financial and tax bracket that people don't expect for me to be in. I always make
Mm-hmm.
pretty good money for my demographic and my educational background. So,
Mm. Boom. Versus, I know some people are like, well, what is it? I haven't heard of it before. And they're more apprehensive or fearful about it because of that. You like, oh no, I got experience in this area. Yeah, sign me up. What is it? I don't know what it is. I ain't never heard. Sounds
I'm
good
gonna
to
find out.
me. Okay, so we know now, little lesson, y'all. It's all about perspective. Okay.
Mhm.
So then you come to class, you go through the pre-licensing class, and of course, this is all you all before we stopped doing classes in person, which we are going to get back to. But
Mhm.
the COVID of it all. But so then what happens after you get done? So you go through class, and I think it was 3 days at that time, right? You
Yep.
take an exam. Talk a
Mhm.
little bit about the exam. Did you have any like exam anxiety or anything like that?
No, because I'm a good test taker. I
Okay.
always have been. I'm good with using deductive reasoning,
Hmm.
all those types of things. So, I've any, many, mighty mowed my way through a many of tests an exam. So nervous about that? No. The class was, kudos to you. The class was amazing, engaging. You're an amazing instructor, but also an amazing mentor. Unlike a lot of companies, and which is not bad, but you know, business is business. But unlike most companies, they literally mentor you through the process. And I remember I would get so annoyed because I'm not used to that type of hand holding. And they had this group chat, and them alerts used to just be off the chain. And I would be like, this is so fucking overwhelming. I'm gonna mute this. This is too much. Like, I don't need this kind of coddling. But some people do. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm one of them people, I just figure out my own path and my own way of doing things. And it's
Yeah.
not some the type of hand holding that I needed, but some people do. And so it's a good service. You're a great mentor. And even, you know, here we are 7 years later, and I do call you for certain things. Like if I'm working on a case and I just need just a bit of information, you're still there, and it's 7 years later. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're still referring people for jobs and, you know, lucrative opportunities. And most training companies don't do that. So kudos and hats off to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you. Okay, so no test anxiety. Came in with the confidence, was ready. So then what happened after that? You're done with class, you passed the exam. Now you got to do now I remember back then, now it's all electronic, but back
Yeah.
then it was you had to do a application form, you had to mail
Yeah.
it in, the fingerprint
My
process.
fingerprints. I had to do my fingerprints. So yeah, I put out a lot of money, but like I say, I'm big on investing in myself because why not? Um, and let me be frank, it's not a lot. It's a lot when you are already unemployed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but again, it's a chance that I was willing to take on myself. But are the classes expensive? No. Is the process expensive? No. Is it well worth it? Absolutely. um you know, and again, TPAS, Charlene and her mom just make it easy, self-explanatory, so you're not bumping your head and making mistakes that can cost you more money. They literally walk you through the whole process. So coming back to Chicago, of course, riding dirty, still broke, but some with more hope up under my belt. Because again, I didn't go to college,
Mm-hmm.
or let's say I didn't graduate college. I did a few semesters. I did not graduate college, and it's just not for everybody. Um, but I'm highly intelligent, so it's like this was a field where I felt like, yo, I can do this. I can live the life I want. It's lucrative and it's something I never heard of. And now I'm educated to that. And it just completely broadened another tax bracket to me. Like, oh, okay, here we are. We're about to level up again because that's what I was accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
Each position, I just consistently level up. Um, so get back to Chicago, do the whole process. Honestly, I felt like I got my stuff rather quickly in less than 2 weeks. And I
Okay.
feel like at that time it was more of a like 4 to 8 week waiting period for certain stuff, but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't take long for me. Immediately I started applying for jobs. Like I said, career builder, LinkedIn, all that type of stuff. And it's oversaturated. You type in insurance, you get an influx of different insurance positions. And I took another insurance position, but it was also yet and still another career that I never heard of. So
Mm-hmm.
instead, I detoured a little bit um, because I didn't have the overhead to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the degree to work for like Allstate and some of these other insurance companies as a full-time adjuster, and I didn't have the overhead to pay for certain things to become an independent adjuster. So if my car is already dirty, right? I can't
Right.
drive to Texas to do a storm thing on dirty license. I don't have the overhead to pay for hotel. I don't have the equipment and can't pay for that. I can't pay for the Exactimate program, so I don't have the overhead to attack this immediately,
Mm-hmm.
right? So instead, I ended up in Medicare sales. Had never heard of that either. And I don't feel bad about it because I know so much about retirement, about what's coming for that, about health insurance, about Medicaid, about Medicare, about supplements, about how all this stuff works, about disability and social security and tax write-offs as you get older. Like, it was just 5 years of this wealth of knowledge that you couldn't pay for at a university. They don't teach you that.
Mm-hmm.
They
Which
don't
they
teach you
need
about,
to, girl.
they
But
don't
yes.
teach you about tax write-offs in your county as you get older on your home and
Mm-hmm.
properties, right? This is
Mm.
stuff that I'm getting firsthand from our elders and retirees. They don't tell you, you know, about how to calculate your social security benefits if you were to be end up with kidney failure right now. What if you don't make it to retirement age, right? So I ended up in that space for 5 years. And I'm thankful for it because that was immediate money. It was, again, another industry that I knew nothing about, never knew it even existed, didn't even know how much Medicare cost every month, but we pay into it in our taxes all the time. So, just how uneducated people are about the insurance industry as a whole. And I was able to bring another layer of information into whatever I decided to do after.
Wow. So, just for those who are now hearing about this other avenue that you can take for the Medicare sales, if somebody is interested, what does that money look like? Like on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis? How did it work and how did you start off versus where you
2017,
ended at?
2017, I came in the door once I started selling, which was about a 6-week process to get me through training and licensing and stuff like that. And of course, the company paid for all of that.
Mhm.
Um, I came in making about 65,000 a year. When I quit, I was closer to 85,000, 90,000 a year. Had I
Mhm.
not quit, I would have definitely went into the six-figure range because of my experience and my expertise. That obviously that would have been the goal. That's where I should have been, but I quit because the company was changing
Mhm.
and I didn't like the structural changes that were happening, and ultimately it was cutting into my money and my growth. And again, I'm one of those people, I don't like to be micromanaged. I don't need a lot of hand holding. And when I went into that company, it was very independent. And then when I left, it was very corporate, hovering, you know, messing with your benefits, messing with your time off, messing with your PTO and your sick time. And I ain't finna nickel and dime with nobody about my time off and all this type of stuff. I quit and again, take another bet on myself. I had no black backup plan. I was just like, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I don't care what all I gotta lose. I get it back.
Right?
But I'm
Right?
getting the fuck up out of here.
Yes.
I don't have to be a slave to any company's whims. I don't have to do that. I made okay decisions to where I made sure I don't have to feel stuck anywhere. Um, and I feel like adjusting was part of that. Now, of course, I went into fashion and dance because that's what I'm completely passionate about.
Mhm.
Um, and I wanted to pursue that full time, and it was going okay. Was it supplementing my complete income? Absolutely not. No, not even nowhere near. But I didn't care. I didn't wake up stressed out every day. I didn't wake up with my chest hurting every day. I didn't
Right.
wake up angry every day because now I got to sit at this desk and not only talk to all these sick old people where
Which is
everything
sad.
is, their dog died, they poor, they ain't got no food, they sick, they ain't got their meds. You deal with that, and I deal with it with a grain of salt, but then I have to look at people talking about we gotta meeting today. We got a virtual meeting and we got another virtual meeting and we need to assess you on this. And you didn't do this on this call and you didn't do that on that call. Like, absolutely not. I'm
Oh
not
my God.
about to deal with that with y'all and deal with all these needy ass, people on the phone. And then I
And
gotta have
sad
you
too,
in my
because
face.
that's just sad.
Um, so yeah, I don't like the whole virtual meeting corporate concept thing where they have to monopolize every minute of your workday in some type of way with a whole bunch of bullshit.
Right.
So I
You
got
to
up
be
out of
getting
that
some
now.
real work done.
Yeah. Or even they don't want you to have the downtime that you kind of earned.
Right.
I went into
Right.
that company with the idea of busting my ass a certain point of the year, busy season, and
Mhm.
then the rest of the year being able to just kind of relax and unfortunately do the bare minimum because that's
Yeah.
kind of your downtime
Yeah.
because you sacrifice so much during the busy seasons during the other half of the year, and they
Right.
just wanted to eat away at that because that's what companies do. They want to get bigger, they want to pay you less, they want to make more money, they want to, you know that's going to always be what that is.
Mhm.
But I'm just one of them people. I'm okay with walking away
Yeah.
when I'm no longer happy and it no longer serves me.
Yes.
um So that's how we got there. And then I'm styling, I'm doing my thing, I'm styling Charlene, and she hits me with an opportunity for Gym Pact. And
Yes.
I'm like, girl, I told you I ain't going back into this corporate America shit. Like, I told you.
She took some convincing, y'all. Okay. Okay. If I gotta convince somebody to take a job was a damn person, it would be Tredena.
It was me because I was like, I don't want no parts. All I want is I want to live, eat, breathe, sleep, fashion, and dance, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And so it took months. I feel. When did you send me that? Was that like April,
Yeah, that was like March or
May,
April or
June?
something like that. Yeah, last year. I have
And
to look
so
at the
it took me like
information.
4 or 5 weeks to actually do the applications and stuff.
Right.
And I did it. And then it took them even longer to process me. So I
Yeah.
technically didn't start doing my first claim until September of 2023.
Hmm.
And here I am in Chicago, one of like 3 people they have here. And when I say they load me up with claims, y'all, like I'm top tier. I'm still good at what I do, but I like it. I
Yeah.
still like that I'm able to make my own schedule, to do my own thing. I still do my fashion, I still do my dancing, and I can kind of weave this into the schedule that I already have set for myself. And
Hmm.
it's lucrative. It's 32.50 an hour, right? I may work all of 20 to 30 hours a week, maybe. I
Hmm.
could go full time if I
Right.
wanted to.
Right.
But again, I kind of stretch it out a little bit. But with this workload, I'm gonna probably end up doing closer to 40 hours a week because I got like 9 claims that's open right now at this moment that
Mm.
gotta be closed.
Mm.
Um, and it's from somebody that was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. No, no. I'm gonna do it for you, girl. I'm gonna see how it
Right.
goes. I'm gonna apply because you my
Right.
girl. And
That.
I want you to be successful. But that ain't
Like,
the
I'm gonna do
direction
this so
I'm
you
going.
look good, girl, because I know
Right,
you trying to
exactly.
work
I'm
that
gonna do
out
it
over there.
to make you look good. But
I appreciate you.
now I appreciate you because it's funding the rest of this lifestyle and this business that I'm trying to build. And that's just the gist of it. And it's something that I prayed for. I would not apply for any other regular 9 to 5 corporate America jobs. I just consistently manifested. I want a job that's lucrative where I make my own schedule. I'm not gonna be chained down to anybody else's desk. I don't care about their benefits. I don't care about their 401k. Again, I'm more leaning towards building a safety net more independently instead of the norm. that people are accustomed to, because I don't feel like that structure is going to sustain itself when it's time for me to retire.
I agree.
So I have to look at things differently. And
Yes.
so, yeah, like it's like kind of fuck corporate America. Like fuck the 9 to 5 to me. If you got kids and you got a husband and you got to do what you got to do, I get it. But also find some type of way to get the life that you really want. Take the small risk, the small chance on yourself that shit is going to work out in your favor. Like I said, it always works out in my favor. Always. I'm making more money here. So this technically will supplement my income from the corporate job. And I don't have to put in as many man hours, and I don't have to sit at anyone's desk. I don't have to punch their clock. You know, I can wake up, take a nap like I did last night to about 10 p.m. and wake up and turn the midnight oil a little bit, you know, um, to about 2 or 3 in the morning if I want, and then go back to sleep and wake up and come in this Zoom meeting. And then
Period.
get up and leave here and go to dance class and then come back and work on some claims a little bit more. Like I literally make my own schedule, and I don't have someone that's like, you haven't been in a call in 1 minute.
Man, I'm so glad that
Like
I'm so glad I don't I I remember those days and I never want to go back.
and I don't have a degree. And I, like I said, I've always been okay with that. It's just so many careers that you can go into without it and still be so successful and, you know, live a really good, comfortable life.
Mm,
And this is one of them. To me, this is top of the list. Insurance is not going anywhere anytime soon.
it's not.
It's required in damn near every aspect of your life. So you're always going to have work in this industry.
Mm, always.
And your experience, the more experienced you are, you just make more money. At this point, because of my experience, they're not going to even look for a degree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I have the experience, but also thanks to Charlene for making sure we get the experience. She look out for her people.
Yeah. So with what you do now, because I know you're and so let me give the people a little more clarity too before we go into this where I ask the next question. So what happened was and why Tredena's like, yeah, you be helping people out. So we don't just want to train you, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
want to also you're getting into becoming an insurance adjuster so that you're attracted to it because of the money. You want to make more money. Some people want to
Yeah.
have more flexibility of their schedules, so forth and so on, and be able to earn more money over a shorter period of time so that you can get to the financial goals that you want to get to, whatever that is. Taking care of your family, whatever, taking care of yourself, getting a new car, getting a house, starting a business,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, what we also do is we connect with, I try my best to connect with carriers directly if I can,
Yeah.
with other what we call independent adjusting firms. And independent
Mm-hmm.
adjusting firms are the third party companies that the insurance carriers will hire in order to help them work claims when they're overloaded. So they outsource some of the work to these third party companies, which can be called third party administrators, TPAs, or independent adjusting firms. And so we are about connecting with them as well. One of the reasons why I go to these big insurance conferences, if anybody follows us on TPAS TV on YouTube, is that I can create these connections to create opportunities for our adjusters. I'm letting them know, like, hey, I train people. My training's top notch. It's great. My people come out ready to go. Can they get an opportunity with you? Who should they be talking to? How can I connect them? Is there something we can do that we can work out a referral program? And that's what I did last year with GenPack. Somebody actually sent them my way. and we were able to work out a referral program with them where I take our adjusters who have been trained. Either you trained with us, you work with us, you got coached by us in some form or shape or fashion when it comes to personal property contents claim handling. And what they need is contents inspectors, and they have clients all over the country, and they need and they've been having an issue with their supply of adjusters to go out there and inspect the personal property items. So Tredena's in the field, right? But she's not climbing a roof because she's a contents inspector. So she's basically just going and looking at when, say, a house catches fire, the personal items in the house, not the structure. I mean, she's got to pay attention to the structure, of course, but
Yeah.
she's there to account for all the personal stuff in the house that was damaged by whatever means it was damaged, right? Sometimes it's fire, sometimes it's a water thing, it just all depends. And that's what she does. And so because they're getting those claims in on a kind of as needed or in demand basis, then if they come into her city, in her area, they will send a message to her to say, hey, do you want to take this? And sometimes she's even gone over and beyond to even take claims she's in Chicago. And so she'll take claims in Chicago, but she's also taking claims at one point. She was down here in St. Louis, in
Milwaukee,
Danville somewhere.
St.
So because
Louis. Yeah.
exactly. So she's able to as a result, she's able to decide which claim she wants to take. As a result, it leads to her being able to set her own schedule. And that's why she can do 20, 30 hours, or if she wanted 40 hours, depending on what she want to take on that day, that week, or that month, whatever her financial, because she got her own financial goals, right? I need to make this much from this. I need to make this much from styling, this much from dancing. And so that's how she's able to do all of that. So just to give everybody a little bit more clarity, like, well, what is she doing? What is that? That's what that is. And so in order to do that, yes, you got to go through our referral program with that. You got to go through us. You got to get contents trained, because part of the sale to that was our contents adjusters know how to hit the ground running. They don't need a ride along. They don't need any extra training. Just tell us how you want us to process this contents claim in your system. We got everything else. We know how to do the inspection. We know how to take the photos. We know how to get the information from the insured and work with them to get all the details we need to get about these items that are now damaged. So with that said, Trey, so with your part-time hours, with the 20 or 30, so on average, what are you bringing in? Because you were saying that it's supplementing now even what you were doing Medicare sales.
Yeah. So I'm going to say easy, probably about 12 to 15. I'm going to say about 11 to 1200 a week.
Okay.
And with, say, like with the Medicare sales, we had our slow months. So we had our good months, a slow month. You might make 9 to 1200 in commission outside of your base pay, right? And that's a month. So you'll look up. I was making with that company, I think $20 an hour, $21 an hour. Slow season, for that month, you might get 9 to 1200 in commission, depending on how they structure it. And that's the thing; they structure it differently every month or every few months. And so, when the company, is trying to juice you,
right.
So it's very unstable. But then on a good month, like my biggest commission check that I ever got during busy season was like 11,000.
Hello, that was good.
But after taxes, that shit was like 7,500.
But that's a bonus
right?
call.
That's the kid drawbacks of not having kids and a husband. They be taxing the shit out of me. So yeah, I feel like ultimately it balances out, it shakes out. Yeah. We'll see, because I haven't even done it a whole year, but it's good money. Right. And again, I'm not even full time, and I'm making my own schedule, and I'm doing what I want to do. And let's just say you don't have all of these other hobbies or aspirations outside of the field like I have, and you just want a good career where you again make your own schedule, but you're willing to do that 40, 50 hours a week, yeah, you can hit the ground running. You're gonna make some good money.
Mm-hmm.
Like 32.50 an hour. Come on.
And content takes time, you all. It's not a quick process.
Some claims are small
Yep.
and some of them are not.
Yeah.
You know, some claims you might only put 5, 6 hours,
Mm-hmm.
8 hours into it. And some of them, you might have that claim 20, 30 hours. And if it's one of those claims that take longer, you just keep taking other smaller claims, which is why I currently have 9 claims open, because sometimes it's just a process, and it's a waiting game, but I'm consistently still working on other claims.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a claim I've had open since January 18th.
Mm-hmm.
It's a large claim. She has a lot of stuff, but also she's been going through a lot. Her father passed, her mama's sick, you know, plus the damages to the house. And it's not her house, it's her parents' house. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, playing that whole waiting game with her and whatever she's going through, I've closed about 4 or 5 other claims since then. So
Yeah. Yeah.
is room for you to keep working. Like
Mm-hmm.
this industry is just so massive. And again, even what I'm doing, it doesn't require for me to have a license, but you definitely want to get licensed and train with Charlene so you can have those other doors and other avenues open for you. You basically, your licensing is preparation. I could go straight from this and go right into the full adjuster field that does require for you to be licensed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make it even more than what I'm making now,
Mm-hmm.
because that's substantially more money when you are climbing the roofs
Right.
and going out into the field and going head into, you know, head first into those storms and stuff like that. So that's even more money. But also because if you want to get referred, then you have to make them look good. They can't send out people that aren't trained, that don't know what they're doing, that aren't prepared. So you definitely need the training because you're a reflection of them if they refer you.
Yeah.
So get the training.
Yeah. Get the training.
I'm coming back to get relicensed.
Listen.
Just in case I decide to do 5 years
Okay.
in this field, just in case,
I decided to do
because I
5 years.
got stuff that I'm trying to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Period. And you can even go back into Medicare sales if you wanted to independently now, can't you?
I could, I wouldn't, well, I did do it independently, and then
Okay.
my license expired, and I just didn't feel the need to maintain that particular license and CE credits and all of that type of stuff for that field because I had no intentions on going back into it.
Gotcha. Done and done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I got what I was supposed to get from that.
Listen.
I got a glimpse of some sense and,
Yeah.
you know, learn what I was supposed to learn about retirement and what that really look like, you
Right.
know, and what type of foundation I want for myself as I get older. So,
Yes. Yes. And also the cool thing too about being in this particular industry is it's the perfect industry to be in to learn exactly what Tredena's talking about. Because we're not going
mhm.
to do anything but get older. Our parents are going to
Yeah.
get older, and we already see things, you know, as far as, you know, people passing on, and people don't even
Mhm.
have the life insurance to bury them. Now, I know we're talking about being an adjuster and all that, and that's more so on like property and casualty and all that, but just being in the insurance industry, period, you
Yeah.
will begin to start being connected to different organizations. People come out to the conferences, you know what I'm saying, show up. And even like the organization that I recently joined, last year, the National African American Insurance Association, joining them. And now I'm connected to all these agents and brokers and
Mm-hmm.
things like that, because everybody who is a person who is of color, different indigenous background, so forth and so on, they're all a part of this organization. And it's really nice to be in this industry and to be connected with these folks, because now with that knowledge that you possess, even, you now know
Mm-hmm.
what to do, because you still have
Mm-hmm.
grandparents that are aging and things like that, and aunts and uncles and so forth
Yeah.
and so on, and knowing how to advise them and give them, because you set my
You
aunt and my mom up with their mental health
Yes,
stuff.
and they love it. Have
Love
they
it.
changed?
They love it.
And that was when I went independent. So those were independent.
Yeah.
That was after I quit the company. And
Mhm.
then also it's like you become an asset and a resource to your family.
Yes.
Like my granddaddy's so goddamn happy for the insurance plan I put him on. He was bragging. He bragged to everybody like they paid for my teeth and I ain't have to pay nothing. Like he got his new teeth and he like, girl, I ain't here to pay
Got
nothing.
me some
And it
new
was quick.
teeth.
Them people got
Okay.
me in and they got me out and I ain't pay a dime. And my
Okay.
grandmother loved her insurance because she's slightly diabetic, not unhealthy, but just slightly diabetic as she got older. And all her favorite little diabetes supplies and stuff she get through her insurance, she loved that shit. They be shopping away off of that off of that
I know
OTC.
mom loves her some kind of gym membership. Girl,
Her
I
gym
don't know.
membership.
Her and my auntie be talking, girl. They love it. They love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I need your help
And
getting my
so
dad with some better insurance. I think what he got is good, but it could definitely be better. Okay.
I'll help look for one. Even though I ain't gonna get paid, I help look for one and send you to another agent I know. But
Okay.
even with that, even with doing the content, I'm like, I need to go through my grandmama's house. Like I know how she shop. I know what her habits are. I know what type of stuff she got in her closet because obviously I'm a clothing girl, right? I'm a
Exactly.
fashion girl. But also, I'm one of the people she gives her old stuff to me because she knows I value antiques. I value quality things. I value luxury things. I value, you know, old stuff because you could just see the quality of it. I
Yeah.
love it. And I've always been a person where she redecorate or, she about to upgrade. She'll give me the older stuff and just be like, huh, right? So, because I hold that stuff like dear to me. I take care of it. I use it. I,
Yes.
keep it in
Yes.
good standing. And she knows I appreciate the quality. But
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to go through her house and itemize everything because some of this stuff I don't know where it came from. Her china cabinet, that thing is older than me. I don't know where it came from. So I'm like, I need to see what's on the back of it if we
Yes.
can. And
Yes.
I haven't opened that china cabinet and looked at the china in it since I was about 10. But it's the same stuff that's been sitting there. So I'm like, I need to find out what this stuff is and literally go through her home and just itemize everything.
Yes.
Um, and that looking up, going into people's situation, and I hate to say it, especially Black people, we throw away so much of our wealth. I went into one home and he had these like American Britannica encyclopedia set. And it's
Hmm.
the first thing I saw when I walked in. And I caught it in the photos. I couldn't really get through the rest of the house because it was unsafe
Hmm.
and the structure was too damaged. It was unsafe. But right in the front hallway and in the living room area, I was taking pictures with my flash and I look at the photos and I look up this encyclopedia set and I could count each one in the photo. And it's like a
Hmm.
set of 28 or 30. And I
Yeah, because they
counted
usually had
28.
the numbers on them.
Mm-hmm. And this set is like worth $1,300. And I say, if you don't get that set out that house, if you don't get that shit out that house, before they come and tear it down. And them people that come and clean out your house will take that shit and they will put it on eBay and they will sell it.
Yeah, if they
But
even know the value of it. Most of the time they're going to
but here's
trash.
the thing, they do be knowing the value of it because they've cleaned out these homes for so long.
That's true.
If they don't know, they're gonna look into it
Mm-hmm.
and find out, just like I found out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was so much stuff in his childhood home that he grew up in, and he just didn't know what it was. He didn't know where she bought it from. He didn't. You've been looking at this refrigerator and stove your whole life, and you don't know
Don't
what
know
the
nothing
brand
about it.
of it is.
Just like that China cabinet you've been looking at.
But that China cabinet ain't got no logo at the top of it. That
Right,
stove,
right,
that
right,
refrigerator gonna say Frigidaire,
right.
right? That stove gonna say Samsung or something.
Yeah.
That China cabinet, I'm gonna have to take them dishes out and move that bitch.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move her.
And it's heavy, right? To
Yeah.
get to the back of it and see what's stamped on the back of it. But it's just like you cook on this stove. You open this refrigerator every day.
Don't know what it is.
And you don't know what it is.
Just don't pay attention. And
And
I would
they
like
had
to
a
also
vintage
add
stove
to
in that
that.
house that was all of like 40, 50 years old.
Listen, let me also add to this too. What we train about contents and what Tredena is doing is actually a niche area of claim handling on the property side.
Mm-hmm.
Most adjusters do not, because content is very detailed. You do have to do a lot of hand holding and white glove service while you're doing it. A lot of back and forth with the insured, talking to them on the phone, appointments, all of that, even beyond the inspection point. Most adjusters don't do content. They don't want to do content. And that's not just for the adjusters, that's managers and alike as well. And so because of that, this is a very specialized area that we're in, and we are the only training company that has a contents training certification course. And it's been in existence since 2011. Shout out to us, okay? So yeah, I'm just letting you all know where she's in is a specialized field. So at any moment where she decide I want to do this full time, I'm going woo 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 woo, they gonna snatch her up real quick, okay, and not let her go. Like we got a couple of our people that has
Mm-hmm.
happened to. So it's the whole point of this session is that it's whatever you want to do. It being
Yeah.
an insurance adjuster could be a solution for you. It could not. But we're just here to just let you know this is what it's about. We are real people. Sometimes because, myself and my mother, we got into it back during 2005 with Hurricane Katrina. A lot of people are like, well, that was that situation. That was a hurricane. Of course, you guys it's easy for you. But this is to show that, and we've had countless of these. You can go to the YouTube page and check out the other previous claim adjuster workshops that we have done with other adjusters. Everybody has done this, gotten into it, and who have succeeded at it has the type of mindset that Tredena has.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
ain't been in a storm yet, and I don't know if I'm gonna ever do it at 42. I don't know if I'm gonna start going on nobody's roof. My
Right.
equilibrium is bad. I think I got vertigo.
So, but point
I'm
proven,
scared of
right? So
heights.
it's not always it's got to be a big storm, or you got to go
Right.
out and be on somebody's roof, because I think that's a misconception that people have. Well, I ain't finna get up on no roof. I'm afraid of heights. That's not necessarily the case. Not every field
Mm-mm.
assignment is an assignment that puts you up on a roof, right?
Yeah, and some of them mechanical. If you work, like I got a friend that work in Ford, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, you know, just motor vehicles. Like most, I have 3 garages out of all the content claims that I've done since September. 4 of them were garages and they all had cars in them. That's not considered content. Their car insurance got to send somebody out to look at that.
And there's
And
an auto adjuster for that.
if you are an expert with motor vehicles and you understand the inner workings of them, just the overall structural outlook of a car or a vehicle, you will make a killing.
Exactly.
Right? You're an asset. So and also I could go into medical claims.
Yep. Yep.
right?
With your knowledge.
When
Yes.
people hurt themselves on these jobs and stuff like that,
Yep.
that's claims.
Mm-hmm.
They still need you as an adjuster.
Mm-hmm.
You can do medical claims if you
Yep.
have previous medical experience
Yep.
or understanding of medical insurance like I
Yep.
do.
Yep.
So, it's so many things that you could do that keep your feet firmly planted on the ground
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
within this
Firmly planted
insurance.
on the ground. Yes.
Yep. Within this insurance field and also as an adjuster.
Yeah. And there's no limit. There's no limit to what you can do. That's the cool thing about this industry amongst all others. It is the one industry or one of the only industries that touches every single other industry because everything has to be insured. Every widget that's made, every house that's built, every commercial property that's built, everything that is owned is insured on some level. Every contract has to be insured. Even when we talk about sports, when we talk about
Mm-hmm.
all of this stuff, the deal that just
Yeah.
happened in Baltimore, all this stuff that we got going on with these bridges, these cargo ships running into bridges. Do you know how
They're insured.
many different
Oh my
insurance
God.
policies had claims from just that Baltimore bridge incident alone? You got the cargo ship owner, that's a claim, whoever owns the ship. You got, and depending on when the ship collided, if any employees on the ship fell, hurt
They
themselves,
were. I heard it was four of them, and then you got the people who cars was on the expressway, and
you
then you
got the
got the
bridge
claim for
itself,
the bridge itself.
and you got the cargo containers because that cargo ship might have the containers from several different companies with
Companies
several different products in it. And
and
now
different
those
insurance.
insured. So claims are being created. Work is out here. If it's not Mother Nature, it's human nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
It there's just every time you see a car accident with a 18-wheeler, I have been on the contents end. Tredena hasn't gotten into this just yet, where I literally just watched cargo being moved from a damaged container to a non-damaged container, and I just had to note the pallets that were damaged, the pallet information, and what I could
Mhm.
see that was on the pallet. Some of it, and it varied. Some of the stuff was from Amazon. Some of the stuff was from Best Buy. It just, and I literally, and it took hours. And I had to do it at like a salvage yard or some kind of yard. The men came out and brought me a little chair, brought me
Yeah.
water, ordered
Yeah.
lunch. You want something for lunch? What you want to eat? Like, and I
Exactly.
literally just sat
And how
there.
much did you get paid for that?
I think I got paid like $35 an hour or so. And then I had to type it all up, do a full report, take all the pictures
Right.
and put it all together. And so I can't remember how much I got paid on that claim. I probably was out there I was out there all day. So probably a good 8 hours. I think it was like a day and a half. I think it took a day and a half to get everything unloaded and
Mm-hmm.
documented. And I think I made like $1,000 from that after I got done with
Yeah.
the time it took to do the work, to sit there through it and then put the report and
And
deliver
the
the
desk work.
photos.
Right.
Yeah, about $1,000. Yeah. I think I was
No.
making close to about 40, close to 40, I think, on that one. Yeah. Cause they also pay me for they reimburse me for the mileage, everything.
And
Time
ain't
and
nobody
expense.
standing over you like you
No,
haven't done anything in 10
no,
minutes.
no. It was all on my time. And I got it done quickly because I wanted to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's all these options. There's all these opportunities out here. And I would say, and like I like what Tredena was saying, like with our people, like don't be afraid to jump out there and do something that's new, that's unfamiliar, because no progress is made from anybody staying in a state of comfort.
Mm-hmm. To get
Absolutely
something you
none.
never had, you got to do something you never did.
Period. Period. I know we were supposed to go over. I'm gonna share really quick.
Mm-hmm.
This was good. I wanted it to more so be about Tredena sharing her story and what she's done and so forth and so on. So I'll just show you all the adjuster information packet. We'll scroll through it really, really fast. But here's the thing. One of the things I like to double back that Tredena said was there was, you go to Indeed or monster.com and you go look up, insurance jobs, and there's just this influx. And one of the reasons why that is because our industry right now is in the middle of a talent gap
Mhm.
crisis. We actually have more people leaving the industry and retiring. And I don't even know what COVID did to these numbers because they haven't been recalculated since COVID. But the last prediction was 400,000 positions needed to be filled by 2020. Of course, we have gone past that point. We know what happened in 2020. And so I think the newest number after that was 1 million positions were forecasted that would need to be
Yes.
filled by 2030. We are 6 years away from that time, and I know that we're behind. And again, you can take this information, you can come to class, get your licensing, and you can become an independent adjuster, right? Which is what myself, my mother, and a lot of adjusters that I know have done. You can also take the information and use it to become be a staff adjuster or another kind of linear position,
Mhm.
side position, like what Tredena did. Like, okay, she was looking for the adjusted thing, she knows she didn't have the resources she needed to go independent right away or to go after that, so she's like, but I still want to do this insurance thing somehow. Okay, let me try this Medicare sales thing, let me see how this goes, right? Like,
Mhm.
I can go nowhere but up from here.
Yeah.
And so because of that, she's got this knowledge now that a lot of us don't have, that again, she can be a resource for her family, she can be a resource for her community, she can double back on it at any time. That's
Yeah.
another thing I love about it, right? Is that
Mhm.
because the knowledge never goes anywhere, that's your intellectual property, you can literally pop in and out of this industry at will,
Yeah.
right? You come right back. Like, I can't tell you the last time I really did a storm, probably not since 2022, since before I hurt myself. But if I decide that I want to jump back out there and jump right into the field, it won't be no problem with me. One, because
Look,
of my experience.
I could jump into advisory work for the
Yes,
elderly, but
yes,
for the aging and the elderly,
yes,
based off my expertise and my knowledge and my experience just selling Medicare. I
exactly.
don't even have to go back into hard sales. I could literally just go and apply at any nonprofit company or government organization for the aging and the elderly as an advisor if I
Surely
wanted
can.
to.
Surely
You know,
can.
so it's
Just like one of the things we're working on with the National African American Insurance Association, the St. Louis chapter. I'm the training and education chair. That's one of my positions, and community outreach. We're about to connect to the Urban League and add to their home first time homeowners class a section where we talk about insuring that house that you're getting all this information
yes.
on buying, but you don't get any information on how to protect it. I even put a post out on Facebook. I was like, 6 out of 10 of you are underinsured. And
And it's
that's the
true.
truth. 60% of everybody who has homeowners insurance is underinsured. So you get insurance and it's still not even enough. Prime example, people getting Medicare and thinking, oh, I got Medicaid, I got Medicare, I got Social Security, everything's going to be covered now. It's not the case if you don't have the right policy. Tredena, with her experience, can get you connected to the right policies, right? She got her
Hmm.
family. Granddaddy got his teeth in, okay, and he ain't had to pay nothing. All right.
Charlene mama got her gym membership.
Listen, and my auntie be raving about her benefits too, because she get like extra food or something. She get a
Yeah.
card, a spin, a car, some kind of whatever credit card with food where she can pay for extra food. Okay, and she be on that. She be on that. She be on that food. Okay, we got some extra food. All right. I'm like, okay, girl. Food is important because it's becoming more and more expensive, y'all. So that's basically, and then for those who don't know what insurance claims adjusters do, just really briefly, what we do is, it's our job to figure out if when somebody files a claim, no matter what kind of claim that is, no matter who the insurance company is our job is to figure out, is the claim valid, meaning is it covered or not, is this real, is it fake, is it fraud, right? Does the policy provide coverage for it based on what has happened? And then to fully investigate and assess all the damage so that we can tell the insurance company this is how much we think you're going to owe on this claim as a result of this loss. That's basically what we do. Okay. And damage could be anything. You know, you could have damage from, I always use the example with the sports team players, Alex Hernandez, who got caught up with the murder case, right? His team, the Patriots, lost money as a result of his
Mhm.
action. They had that contract with him insured. And it's usually there in the case of something like that, or like the player hurts themselves and is taken out, sometimes for the rest of their career, for the rest of the season, that team loses money because fans may not show up because he's not there, because he has his own fans and his own following. There's a way to quantify that, and they insure that, and there has to be an adjuster who pays out on that. It's not even just, I got a car accident, my car needs to be fixed. It's not just, oh, my home is damaged from this tornado, I need money to fix it, or whatever. Somebody came and stole these tools out of my auto business, right? It could be anything. Like I said, any kind of contract. The damage from the bridges, the damage from the cargo on the cargo ships, the cargo ship itself, all this stuff. Insurance runs the world. It is literally a part of
Yes.
every single country's gross domestic product. And most of the time it's anywhere between 20 to 40% of a country's gross domestic product
Yep.
is their insurance industry. So it's a huge industry to be in, and the adjusting side of it is kind of, like we said, a career, lucrative career that's really hidden in plain sight. Most of the time you only hear about the agents, you only hear about selling insurance.
Yep.
You don't never hear about the other side, where when there is a claim, who
Hmm.
takes care of that, right? And the adjusting skill can take you on to other things as well. The adjusting skill you can be a FEMA inspector. You could end
Mm.
up going into appraisals. You could end up being a home assessor for the government. And I've done all of the above. I mean, there's just so many different ways that you can take this and learn the skills that we give you coming into this industry and use it to make money doing other things elsewhere and still be able to bounce on this too. So yeah, so just given those different opportunities that exist, you got auto adjusters, we got commercial structure adjusters for residential, structure adjusters for commercial, boat and marine,
Yep.
trucking liability. The surety bond stuff is the contracts between sports teams, the contracts between some construction company building a wing off of a hospital. That has to be insured. Workers' compensation. You got
Yep.
flood insurance, right? When you got storm surges from storms and floods come in, or whatever, too much rain. And there's just, the possibilities are endless. So Tredena talks a little bit about what she's making and what she brings in, which we tally to about right now just on part-time, bringing in anywhere to what, 45 to 4,800 a month. And if she wants to go full-time, that'll double up. Hello. You know what I'm saying?
Yahtzee.
uh, Right. And I know for staff adjusters, this starting salary may be a little low, but I just want to give people realistic expectations, because there are some low paying staff jobs out there. We do
Hmm.
have some adjusters who have gone that route. And then, but I've also noticed that the adjusters who did go that staff route, they increased their income very quickly. Just like what Tredena, she went, what job, what career, that even as staff, you can come in at 60, and 5 years later you are almost at six figures.
Yeah.
What kind of raise, what career do you know gives you a raise like that at over 20 grand, 30, almost 40 grand raise in 5 years? There's not a lot. Okay. So we even have an adjuster who said what he's doing now, he came in at around this range, 50, 60, and within a year, just because of the way he works, bringing in excellence like Tredena was talking about,
Hmm.
he's now almost at the 100 mark as well. And it's been about 2 years for him, 2, 3 years now.
Hmm.
So you can get up there. It's all what you want to do. And there are staff adjusters for the office. You work at a desk in their, facility, or you can be working in the field. I know field adjusters who are staff, and they make usually about 100 grand a year. Then on the independent adjuster side, and again, just to be reasonable, because we have these we used to all back in the day when we started get paid on a day rates, we used to get paid per day. So I would get paid $400, $500, $450 a day. You know, it just all depended on what I was doing. Sometimes $600, $700 a day. But now they've broken most of that down to hourly because of labor laws, and come to find out we wouldn't, even on the day rate, we should have been getting some OT and we wouldn't. Because yeah, so now everything is hourly. So how that kind of comes out, if you're looking at it still from that daily rate angle, is, you know, potentially $300 to $400 a day starting off. You can definitely go above that. It just all depends on what you're doing and what you want to do. And here's the thing, you're independent. So even if you get on an assignment, you turn out, man, I don't like this assignment, ride it out, finish it, you'll get an opportunity to do another assignment, do something else. You get an opportunity to say no to some things that you're being assigned. Say, yeah, I don't want to do
And
it.
it's some
Like
people that
Dina,
say no.
yeah, it's some people that say no, I don't want to do that. If you're in the field, low end, you're gonna start off because you're new and you don't know much, and you're gonna move slow and you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna miss things as far as the damage is concerned. So you might come out, you know, $400 a day, starting off maybe five, and then you can work your way up to $1,000 a day or more. So, and then of course these numbers go up exponentially for the independent adjusters if we have an influx of, if we have a busy storm season. Kind of like, what was that? I want to say 20, maybe that was 2021, 2020, where we had 3 hurricanes hit in the same season. And we were busy. One of our top field adjusters that we trained, Jeff Foster, he got an assignment to go to Puerto Rico. He was in Puerto Rico a couple of weeks, maybe somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks. I can't remember the exact amount. He made over $200,000 in that time, because that was just how they was paying like that, because they just really needed people really, really bad. And they were trying to pay a lot to get folks, the right people in the right place to work those claims. So you can have a winning year like that. That goes above what you bring in on average. So yeah, what do you need to do to be an adjuster? You just have to be licensed by your resident state. We're in Missouri. I'm in Missouri. Tredena's in Illinois. Both of our states are states that do not issue adjusters licenses.
Yeah.
So we had to go through the state of Texas, and that's our pre-licensing class that the state requires you to take in order to give you an adjuster's license, is for the state of Texas. So if you're in a non-licensing state, that would be your best option. If you're in a licensing state, then you have to go through that state. If you need any advice on that, or trying to figure out, okay, what do I do, or how does this process go, because we do have partnership with webce.com, which is one of the organizations, companies that they have pre-licensing classes for every state in the country. It's just that it's self-study. If you need any help with any of that or getting connected with that, and we can get you a 10% discount, just hit us up, let us know, send me an email, info@tpas.llc. I will get those answers for you, and any other answers to any questions that you may have, we'll get that going. All right. So if you want to know about the next upcoming courses that we have, just go to our website, which is www.tpas.llc. And when you get there, click on the courses tab, then go to training and development. No, I'll take it back. Click on the training and development tab, then courses. It'll bring you up to our courses page, and you can scroll down and then click on the, I think there's either a hyperlink or a little box that says, you know, pre-licensing or whatever. And you scroll down to the end of that page, and it'll give you the dates. And if you have any other questions, you know, send us an email, give us a call. We're here for you. And yeah, it may be for you, it may not be for you. It may be for somebody that you know. So spread the word. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? Because this is going to the YouTube page. So that's all that I have with that. Right now, my time is 1:15. This is usually a 2-hour meeting. I'm trying something different. One adjuster, diving deeper and cutting it down to about an hour. So we're a little bit over. I'm going to, Tredena, I'm going to open this up for questions. Let me see if I got anything in the chat. Okay, wait, I got chat. Okay, Christina, I'm looking. Hi, my name is Christina Jenkins. I am looking forward on taking the Pro Adjuster Bundle. Yes, Christina, classes start soon. If you could give me a call once you're finished. Yes, Christina, thank you so much. And I just got your voicemail. I apologize too. We got you, girl. It was a little delay with the mail. Then the everything went to the wrong location. We hunted it down. We got it. You are good. I'll start sending you out your confirmation letters for your upcoming classes. And Christina's actually going to be on the contents class next week. So when she's done, I'm going to be sending her over to Gym Pack, and hopefully she can get an opportunity to work some claims. She said, "Yay, I'm so excited." Yes, I'm excited for you, girl. Let's get you to work because I need us to look good for the state of Virginia. Okay?
Oh,
Christina
in
found a
Virginia.
way out of no way. And I will say this. I'm glad that you said something, Christina. For we
Mhm.
do have other programs, like if it's something where you're looking at the cost of our classes and you're like, dang, I want to do it, but that's a lot. If you are unemployed right now, if you are a dislocated worker, if you are receiving any kind of government benefits, food stamps, whatever the case, Medicaid, Medicare, we do have some connections. I know for a fact in Missouri, we are vendors with oh Lord, help me. I got to remember because it's a lot. We are vendors with the Missouri Department of Secondary Education and Vocational Rehabilitation. So if you're somebody who has been even diagnosed with any form of a disability, if you go through them, and that disability doesn't have to be physical. If it's a mental disability, a physical disability, they can you can go through them and you like, listen, this is what I want to do, and we're already an approved vendor on the list. We're good to go. You tell your career counselor, hey, I want to try this adjusting thing. We can work with them, and we have done this before, to work with those different agencies, state and local agencies, to have them pay for your trainings. We are all about promoting each other's businesses on here. That's one thing that I am a stark believer in. If you need a stylist, and I can tell you that you do. If you are an upcoming, business owner, CEO, or you just trying to step up your game and get your mojo back, baby, you might have been like me and went through a couple of boyfriends, a divorce, and some other things, okay? And you just feel like, I have lost the juice. I've lost my sauce. I am 40 plus. I am plus size, okay? And I need help. I'm not feeling like myself. I need rejuvenation in my life. Listen,
Yeah.
let me tell you where you need to go. You need to go to Tredena Sanders Fashion House. And let me tell you something. The woman is gifted. It's a gift. Okay. She can literally look at your social media postings, the photos that you have taken over time, and literally peg you out to the nail and hit the nail. Okay. Hit the hammer right on that thing. All right. And can literally let her upgrade you. That's all I got to say.
Hey,
Listen.
www.tredansan.com.
Tredena Sanders Fashion House. www. I'm gonna repeat it. Tredanasan.com. Get with her, girl. Get with her. She'll do a closet overhaul. That's where we started. We started with the closet overhaul. And
We
baby,
we did the closet haul, the photo shoot,
yes.
all in the same week.
And let me tell you, my photo shoot. I did not know what I was doing. I just wanted to do a photo shoot because I was like, I
It was
needed
your
more.
birthday.
It was my birthday. I wanted to feel sexy again. So I did like a boudoir one. I did like the pool one. And then I also wanted something kind of semi-professional. All the things. Tredena did everything, girl. You go back on them old photos on my IG or my Facebook. She did my hair. She didn't just style my outfit. She did my hair. She did my makeup. She did it all. She did all the photos. She was the photographer. She was the makeup artist. She was the hairstylist. She was the clothing and stylist. She was all of the things,
We
and she
got you
did
and
them
went and
all.
bought you a new closet. Yeah.
Because she recognized in my closet overhaul, she recognized your closet. You know, these houses in the Midwest, they old. And back in the day, you know, the women didn't have all these clothing and accessories like we
Mm-hmm.
have now. So the closets are too small. And she recognized immediately that I needed, she's like, you need more space. And thankfully my room is big enough. So we figured it out. We figured out a solution. I ended up doing what did we do? What's that place called? The
We went
Container
to
Store.
the Container Store.
The Container Store
Mm-hmm.
has custom closets, and it's
Yep.
not anything that had to be screwed or nailed into the wall. We ordered it, it came in, it all assembles, it hooks into each other, and it is mwah, beautiful. We even
Built it.
the clothes are even hung up color coded, you all. Went all
Shirley
the
has a
way there.
color-coded closet.
And it's not like she will take, and it's not like a closet haul where it's like what you be seeing on those makeover shows where they want to throw everything away. She literally has the eye to even take stuff that you didn't even know how to put it together. You bought it because you thought it was cute, but you really didn't know how to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
She will take the things that you already have and work with you. Even if your budget ain't like mine, I got a friend who she's a thrifter. Everything needs to be thrifted, baby. She done found me. Listen, I done got compliments on stuff, designer, brand new, never worn before stuff that she found in a daggone thrift store. Helped my budget out immensely. Okay,
Yeah.
so she is very flexible. But when I tell you when she done, you gonna look like that girl.
But
Okay.
that's neither here nor there. Get into these adjuster courses. Be brave. Have no fear. You
Yes.
bet on yourself. Take some risk. Yo, spirit will provide you with a soft landing. I promise you.
Say that. Say it again.
You will
Spirit
get
will
that
provide
soft
you with a
landing.
soft landing.
Yeah.
And don't be scared. Because it's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You haven't been brought this far to just be dropped in on your head. Okay. Yes, this is my comeback to life. Come on, Christina. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Let's come back to life. Back to reality. Okay. Back to the here and the now. All right. Yeah. So, okay. So, with that, Tredena, I know you just kind of gave last words, but any other last words, advice, encouragement that you would like to provide to anybody who is currently listening or will be listening in the future when it comes to deciding, should I do this? Should I go into adjusting? Or even should I stay with it? Because some people are in it, they may not have a gig just yet and they're looking for one. What do you got for
I'm gonna say, ah, do it. My first instinct is always to follow spirit. Go for what you're passionate about. But if you know, if you're stuck in a rut or a dead end, and unfortunately a lot of us are, if you know you are just stuck working for somebody else and that's not where you want to be, um, do it. It's a it's almost this thing like I'm one of them people where I always felt like if I get stuck, I gotta shake loose. And it's always so dramatic, but it's like I gotta get up out of here, I gotta hurry up and shake loose. And it's like no matter what the risks are, I gotta get up out of the situation. I don't like feeling stuck. So to me, it's priority. It's priority that I do what I want to do and live my life the way I want to live it. And most of that, unfortunately, it's financial. You got to have the money and the freedom to do certain things. Um, this is one industry where I would send anybody into it because it's just so many avenues. You can never really go wrong. It's always going to be lucrative. It's going to be there a long time. You don't have to have degrees up the ass. And they need over 1 million people over the next 6 years. No industry is growing at this rate, right? Um, Yeah, I would tell anybody, go into this, get trained, and at the bare minimum, you get to learn something, because as Black people, we are underinsured and uneducated about industries like this. And like I said, you get to become an asset some way to yourself and to your entire family by educating yourself and then educating them, because so many other ethnicities of people build their wealth through insurance and their policies. And even me, just me, because I'm trying to hoard money, I got liability insurance on my car. I'm like, yesterday I was sitting there like, let me get some more, let me pay them this extra $20 and get some real fucking insurance. Right? Like, oh, I'm over here trying to hoard money because of other goals and stuff, but it's like, I know better. Let me hurry up and get some real fucking car insurance, especially since my car is paid off. Like, I need to get more than just liability, just trying to be El Cheapo or whatever. Um, but yeah, educate yourself. It You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. This is an industry that everyone needs to know about. Even if you don't want to go into the field, there will come a time where Charlene's going to be teaching educational courses. She's going to start an industry or a position where she's reviewing your insurance policy for you to determine if you need more insurance on your home or on your car or, whatever. And that's another service all in itself. But it's another avenue for money, and it's things that we need to know within our communities. So yeah, I would tell anybody to do it.
I think that was great. Thank you.
It's low risk. You need to know this shit. You need to know this stuff.
Yeah, we got
somebody in your family got to be the expert in this.
Yes, because we're losing generational wealth, and this is one of the ways we lose it: being underinsured, not knowing what we've got in our house or what it's really worth, and getting paid less. You got some claims like that I know you've already come across.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, it's like we're not updating our policies. We're buying better stuff and we're upgrading the stuff in the house, but we didn't upgrade the policy to protect said things. So yeah, and
you also need people in it. And you also need people in the industry that care.
Mm-hmm.
I did so well in insurance sales because I cared. Mm-hmm. Right? About their benefits, about their health, about their livelihood, about their needs. I genuinely cared. And when you stop caring, you need to leave. But also the same thing in insurance sales. When someone's selling you a policy, they need to care about you. They need to care about your shit, as well as they commission, because they'll let you walk around underinsured if they're not good at their job, but primarily if they don't care. They just want to make a quick sale. And the same thing happens in medical and health insurance. And, even in adjusting, your adjuster needs to care. Absolutely. To come in and do a good quality job. Even during inventory, I have to care about your things the way I would care about my things if they were destroyed or in a fire, to do a good job with your content. I can't say you had a brown chair and just call it a brown chair, and it's a brown chair on Amazon for $50, but you paid $1,200 for this one. Right. Right. So you have to take pride in whatever it is that you do. And that's the type of people that's needed within the insurance industry as a whole, because it's such a big part of people's lives and their livelihood and their well-being. And those positions got to be filled. Period.
Thank you for joining us for the Claims Adjuster Workshop. We hope you found the information valuable and insightful. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates and future workshops. Stay connected, stay informed, and keep adjusting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.